Kailan ka matututo? Sadyang ikaw ang kalaban mo, ikaw rin ang susupo.
Ngunit kailan, kapag wala ka nang magagawa, kapag wala ka nang ibubuga,
O bayan ko, kailan ka tatayo? Kay rami ng dugong inalay sa'yo.
o bayan ko, ang oras ay malapit nang maubos. Bangon na, bumangon bayan ko. Ngunit kailan, kapag wala ka nang magagawa, kapag wala ka nang ibubuga, o bayan ko, kailan ka tatayo? Kay rami ng dugong inalay sa'yo.
O bayan ko, ang oras ay malapit nang maubos. Bangon na, bumangon bayan ko. Kung magkasama-sama, pilit na sabay-sabay susunod na. Susunod na.
A discreet enemy that frightens many, shut down and paralyzes economy. From a faraway land, here's to endanger, but many stood, combats with compassion and care. Amidst of insufficiency and dearth, an inch of fear and surrender will never be there. Thick bodysuits, which at times woven by your bare hands, a salute to service, passion, and sleepless night will lack. Sweat, pain, and tireless days, in shoulders the hope of many stays. Called by duty to serve and defend, this unperceivable foe will come to an end.
Sumikat na naman ang araw. Panibagong gunita ang natatanaw. Minulat ang mga mata at marahang bumangon, kasabay ng nagbabadya at nakakatakot na hamon.
Sandali. Ito na yon, ang pangyayaring walang nais sumang-ayon. Nakasisindok na salot ang lumaganap, lunas na hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa mahanap.
Sandali, pansamantalang kalimutan ang takot at pangamba. Alalahanin ang mga magagandang gunita.
Hindi mali. Mas mabuting sumuong tayo sa nagngingit-ngit na mundo. Hatid nga nito'y hangal na panunudyo. Subalit, hindi ba hudyat lamang ito ng ganti sa tao?
Pagkikibit balikat sa tungkuling nakaligtaan. May natitira pa nga bang magandang kapalaran? O tila buwal na tamna na lamang?
Marahil parusa ito sa mapaniil nating kasalanan, o di kaya'y biyaya ng may kapal sa ibang kaparaan.
Pag-iiba yung pahintulot na magpalamon sa sarap ng kamunduhang pangako.
Ngayon'y sinisiil tayo sa walang tiyak at nakapipinsalang pagpapako.
Hindi. Marahil malilaman tayo ng nauunawaan. Makahulugan nga siguro itong kapighatian, handog ng Diyos sa atin kailanman.
Sandali lamang at pumikit, takot pangamba, lungkot at galit ay hayaang mawaglit. Ang ngayong handog sa atin ay marahang lasapin at balikan.
Makasama ang pamilya ng walang katakdaan. Pagpapatawad sa kapwa at sarili ay huwag kaligtaan. Higit sa lahat, pananalig sa Diyos ang pinakakailangan. Sumikat na naman ang araw.
Sumikat na nga ang araw. Panibagong gunita ang natatanaw. Anumang salot ang pumarito at umalingaw-ngaw, sama-sama tayong sasabay sa walang katiyakan tampisaw.
Mapunta man tayo o hindi sa ating pinakaayaw.
Huwag mangamba sapagkat kasama natin ang nag-iisang tanglaw.
Bukang liwayway, sama-sama natin tanawin. Sa muling pagsisikap ng araw.
A sound of hope, a sound of peace, a sound that celebrates and speaks what we believe, a sound of love, a sound so strong. It's amazing what is getting when we share a song.
This is why we sing, why we lift our voice, why we stand as one in harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. Soothe the soul, let the heart bring together lives that have been torn apart.
that circles back again. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice, why we stand as one in harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. Music builds a bridge, it can turn down the wall. Music is a language that can speak to one and all. This is why
Sa muling pagsikat ng araw.
Sa muling pagsikat ng araw.
Sa muling pagsikat ng araw.
We will start in a few minutes.
Ang mga kwentong buhay sa harap ng telon na pinasimula ni Ginoong B.J. Bora ay ang taunang produksyon ng opisyal na grupong panteatro sa lungsod ng Binyan, ang Binyan Youth Performance Council magmula pa noong 2006. Ang produksyong ito ay binubuo ng mga Filipino short plays at movement pieces na itinatanghal tuwing buwan ng Disyembre ng taon sa Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista Hall ng Sentrong Pangkultura ng Binyan, sa pakikipagtulungan ng Binyan City Culture, History, Arts and Tourism Office at Binyan City Center for Performing Arts. Ito ay naglalayon na mas mailapit ang sining sa komunidad. Maipakita ang mga realidad ng buhay sa pamamagitan ng kwento at istorya na itinatanghal sa entablado, linangin at sanayin ang mga talento ng mga kabataang Binyanense sa larangan ng pag-arte, at tumuklas ng mas marami pang mga talento tungo sa kamalayan ng mga mamamayan sa sining at kultura ng Binyan.
The national artist for theater, Severino, Montanos, The Ladies and the Senator. Direction, Led Sobrepeña III.
Si Mang! Si Mang!
Yes po, ma'am.
Did the telephone ring when I was away?
No, ma'am.
My goodness! The table is such a seat! What have you been doing all along? Here, get these things and prepare the flowers.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Mr. Sapra came here.
What did he want?
He came to get your husband.
What for? Playing cards na naman?
I don't know, ma'am. But he said, the senator who is from Manila, he needs though some relaxation.
Is that so? Sinungaling lamang yon. That good for nothing, Senator. Baka marirelax pa.
Mr. Sapra said, it is long time already since he has not relaxed.
Tarantadong Sapra yan. Walang responsibility. You answer the telephone. If it is for me, tell them I am preparing for the party.
Hello? Yes, ma'am. She's here. But she is Bessie. Ma'am, si Mrs. Patuon po she likes you daw to tell her if the senator is here na already.
Till here, he went to nagre-relax. Kung saan-saan.
Ang senador po raw, nagre-relax kung saan-saan. Hindi ho. Hindi naman rito. Not here, but outside. Mr. Sapra and Mr. Gomez are with him. Hindi ho. Hindi naman sa horse races.
Horse ka mo? Hindi horse.
Yes, ma'am. Mga kabayo lahat sila. Ma'am, gusto raw po kausapin.
Hello, darling. Good afternoon. Why aren't you coming yet? Naku, the others are not yet here. And I want very much to create a good impression sa American time, hindi Filipino time. Our guest speaker is not yet here. Are you sure you told him to come to my apartment here at 17th Street? 6966? It won't take him a hard time to climb because we're on the first floor, apartment number 6. What? You have a confidential secret? Ano? You better na lang you come right away because our party night right here. What were you saying? Come soon, ha? Si Ma'am! Answer the doorbell!
Ring. Good afternoon. Is everybody here now?
Goodness! Not yet! But you're setting a good example. Mabuti yon since you're the president.
If you work for the federal government, I assure you that you are trained to be on time for special and business engagements. I hope you like these cookies I prepared.
Oh, how wonderful!
I used 5 pounds of butter. So we want to show our Philippine officials that we are not exactly starving.
Mrs. Camus requested me to prepare kare-kare, especially for the senator. I did, but that is a trouble. When our officials come to Washington, we feed them so much. In spite of their food allowance, they have expensive per dimes.
We are so far away from home.
That's a marvelous sentiment. But don't say that when they are around.
Why?
My goodness! That will only encourage them to do things.
What things?
If you tell them they are away from home, they will make that a continuous season toward the relaxation all the time.
Well, it isn't bad to do some relaxations every once in a while.
Of course, but it all depends upon who you relax with. If the senator relaxes with the wrong person, how about his forward to live in Manila? As a member of a Filipino women's club in Washington, D.C., we should protect the interests of his wife in the Philippines. Here are the others. Come in. Where have you been hiding all these men?
Around.
Didn't you know Felia is with the World Bank now? She's just back from Switzerland.
Naku! That's why she looks so fashionable. I warn you, Cora Ocampo will be jealous of your dresses.
Aren't the officials here yet?
Mrs. Gomez says that the senator is still relaxing. I do hope that the ladies will bring him to our meeting on time.
Aba, what ladies?
I forgot to tell you that Mrs. Cora Ocampo Collins and Mrs. Ferdelesa asked if they could escort the senator to our party.
Of course. I might have known Cora Ocampo would put something over on us.
Well, everybody knows she is the unofficial reception committee, especially for senators and congressmen.
I personally can see how she enjoys kissing so many government officials, especially so many old ones. Sanda naman Senator Maripal na yun, no?
Pero chika, it seems like the older they get, the more naughty are their fingers.
Has anybody seen the blazer coat of the senator?
That's not so funny as the way he changed his name from Antonio to Anthony.
It's understandable about that blazer apparel. Anybody who is in last stages would have to make it up with bright color combinations.
Nagme-makeup yon. Fafano, when he was young, they say he was too poor to have a good time. And now that he has a lot of money, he can almost buy everybody.
Listen, I have a piece of exciting news for you. Oh, sabi mo, go. Let's go.
By all means.
But don't tell the others, ah. I'm afraid baka you will repeat it. Last night daw, he was out with Miss Crumple. Who is this Miss Crumple?
Who else? She's very flirtatious naman. Ang karengking ng Amerikanang yon. I tell you, even with my husband, she tried to flirt in the office. So I just had to put my foot down with Mateo.
Look, ang chika. Supposing Maripal went out with Crumple, so what does that make her?
Never mind. We expect that when our officials come to this great coffee town, they should see the good example.
How can we expect our visitors to act correctly if some of us here do not behave ourselves?
That's correct. Just look at some of our minor officials.
What did I tell you?
Piti naman si Mrs. Moncado.
If I were the ambassador, I'd certainly have packed Captain Moncado home a long time ago.
That only shows to you that it is advantageous to have a father that is influential.
I tell you, that is the first big defect of our government.
If that had happened in a federal agency, the captain would have been dismissed right away.
Aba, ang mga Amerikano lalo pa. In the Library of Congress, our bosses don't do such foolishness.
Naturalmente! Here, nepotism is reduced to a minimum. There are civil service regulations and they stick to them.
Ano ibig sabihin ng nepotism?
Appointing your own relatives, even if other persons are more capable.
But that's not the worst with the captain. He always changes his Cadillacs and sells them to the new arrivals. Ano naman ba ni bagong racket na yan?
Well, if you give lavish parties every weekend, by hook or by crook, you've simply got to produce the money.
But the immorality, that is the thing that gets me. Fiti naman si Mrs. Mercado.
Ang chika. You cannot exactly blame the captain if the colonel's wife flirted with him.
It happened daw in the basement of one of those parties. Close friend pa naman ang American colonel, and Mrs. Moncado was at home visiting the Philippines.
If the cat is away, the mouse will play. I only pity the taxpayers of our country. But silence! I think I hear Mrs. Moncado coming.
No, don't tell her. We have been talking.
Mrs. Moncado, welcome! How pretty you look.
Oh, hi everyone! Where are our visitors? Pari, here's my contribution.
Naku, sarap naman ang dala mo. Who did it? Ikaw?
Our visitors are not yet here. Kanilang! Where's the captain?
My husband accompanied the senator. You know how it is. He and my father-in-law are close colleagues in the Senate.
It is lucky for you, Telon. You have relatives who are influentials. You tell us, who are they going to remove from the embassy?
What? Is there another reorganization? They've done that not so long ago.
What can you do? The government is broke. I told the general that I was not so anxious to get back to work. But he insisted. So, it is all the same if I get kicked out.
Let us ask the senator when he comes.
But that would embarrass the poor senator. He might think that we are giving this party to ask him some favors.
I'm sorry for Mrs. Camus. If her husband gets transferred to India, it must be hard to work for the Philippine government if it does not give you any sense of security. I'm only glad that my husband and I are federal workers. At least, we do not have to suffer so many indignities.
Do you still remember Iding Birata and Amado Dalisay? They don't do anything on this trip for the senator except for taking care of his expenses and baggage. Harvard pa naman yung dalawa.
That is the very thing wrong with us. We spend more than we earn as government. And our officials always junk it in. But if we say something about it, they will immediately dismiss us. Look what happened to Mena. She just wrote somebody in Manila what an official was doing here, and that letter was intercepted. After a week, they asked her to resign. I tell you, our democracy is still very defective.
If you can't open your mouth to complain about the government, how can you improve it?
Pretty soon, you won't have freedom of speech.
Ang chika, some of our officials are dictatorially minded. They even write love letters to Franco.
What is our women's club doing?
Si Mang! Ano yun? Kompletuhin mo ng kare-kare.
Way kare-kare pa.
Sige, kahulog ang senator eh.
This is America. When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. Walang kare-kare. As a club, we have to be on the good side of the senator.
That's the defect of our government. Plenty of palabo.
Don't say that naman in front of Mrs. Moncado.
Never mind. I know all the foolishness of those senators. I can write volumes and volumes about them, including the foolishness of my husband.
What can we do with their husbands? They're always gambling.
Even if my husband is not included, I agree that we have to do something about it. Our women's club should do something.
Why can't we start with the senator? Since he's an influential leader, he ought to be a marvelous example. Listen, here comes the wives of the counselor and the minister and Mrs. Camus' daughter, Letty, and her niece, the seamstress.
That girl is getting more and more nervous every day. Maybe they overwork her.
Pobrecita Tabien. She came as their maid servant.
Hello! How's everybody?
Paring! Kamusta, my dear?
Mabuti naman. Naku, Gina. Maganda, mabilis mo sa iyong buhok.
Salamat, Paring.
We are all here except for Mrs. Collins and Mrs. Ferdalesa.
Nana, Pilang! If that Mrs. Collins is coming, I shall go home na. I cannot stand her staring at my dress.
Iha, there is not harm in attending your affair together.
I get nervous every time I set eyes on her.
Don't be silly, Manang Daisy. For all you know, she doesn't even notice you.
Well, I am very sorry we are late a little. No naman, I had to send off the minister to New York at the order of the ambassador.
And Mrs. Perdelesa went to fetch the senator at the Shoreham.
Sus, Gina, wala sa Shoreham.
Well, where is he?
Nagre-relax daw.
Naku, Pilang, that's terrible.
Si Mr. Sapra, yung tarantadong yon, inimbita raw na maglaro ng kung ano-ano.
Well, I think the senator needs to have a pleasant diversion from his duty. I know my husband was a legislator himself before he became a diplomat. How about the assemblyman? Did he go with them?
Lahat-lahat sila, including my very own quiet husband.
Oh, how are you, Letty? How's Wellesley?
Fine. Thank you.
It seems only yesterday when we attended your coming out reception.
For my part, I'd rather forget the memory of the sweet occasion.
Iha!
I'm sorry, Mama, but that's the honest way I feel about it.
Well, you don't need to announce it in public. Remember, you are the daughter of a diplomat.
But I am an individual, and my honesty should be respected.
Ako, Mrs. Camus, napaka-moderno naman na iyong daughter.
I sometimes wish that I had not sent her to Wellesley. But at the time, I was inspired by the example of Madame Chang.
Well, I've heard many uncomplimentary remarks about the way Madame behaved so arbitrarily with the servants at the White House when she was a guest there.
That's the trouble with my mother. She thinks in symbols and generalizations.
Lang, don't you think we better start the meeting?
Perhaps so, since we already have a call. Mrs. Alaya, since you are the president, why don't you start things going?
The meeting will please come to order.
Madam Chairman?
Yes, Mrs. Dalco?
Madam Chairman, I move that since we called this special meeting to welcome the senator, I suggest that we try to make it as brief as possible so that it may be possible for us to concentrate on welcoming our distinguished visitor.
Second motion.
Any objections? None? The motion is carried.
Madam Chairman?
Yes, Mrs. Patoon?
I suggest that we adopt Senator Anthony Maripal as an honorary member of our society.
Second motion.
Go.
Ladies, please. In the first place, the name of the senator is Antonio, not Anthony.
I would like to announce, for the benefit of our club members, that the senator has slightly changed his name ever since he came to America.
Thank you indeed, Mrs. Patuon, for enlightening our members. It has been moved and seconded that our society adopts Senator Anthony Maripal as an honorary member of the Washington, D.C. Filipino Women's Club. Any questions?
Madam Chairman, I object. In the first place, what can we do with an old male in an organization like ours? After all, we are females.
What does age got to do with my propositions?
Plenty! What will the people in Manila think if we appear very frivolous to them? We should not want to give impression that we are flirting with the senador. No, sir.
Sus, hindi naman flirtations yun.
Well, it is equivalent to it. But the more important reason is, how do we know whether Senador Maripal's character is pure? I asked you to give me an answer. So you see, Madam Chairman.
Well, we can always have him investigated. I don't know why Mrs. Patuon is so very anxious to please the senator. In fact, as a society of women, we should let it appear to him that we are hard to get.
May I have the floor, Madam Chairman? Ladies, are you not mixing the issues a little? Senator Maripal is here on an official visit. Whatever he does in private is his own concern, not ours. Certainly, if we are to observe the principles of democracy, let us not interfere with the sacred privacy of the individual. And after all, we are in America.
Certainly, we are in the greatest land of freedom and democracy.
But supposing Mrs. Maripal were a member of our club, won't we raise a hand to protect her interests?
Please, let us not include the question of sex in our discussion. The subject is extremely sordid. Let us first and foremost be true Filipino ladies.
Ladies, my dear Filipino sisters, I welcome you. How do you do, Mrs. Camus? I'm sorry I missed your husband.
We all wish you a hearty welcome, Senator.
Thank you very much for sending the pretty Mrs. Collins and kind Mrs. Verdeleza to fetch me.
It was a wild goose chase. We assure you.
The senator is truly a hard man to catch.
Ladies, I assure you that I am available at any moment.
Oh, Senator, I'm glad to see you have a fine sense of humor. I am Felia Festa.
Felia Festa! So, you are the pretty person. Of course, I've heard all about you from Miguel Cuaderno.
I hope he told you nothing but the truth about me.
Nothing but the truth, I assure you. And I tell you, I am not disappointed.
You know, Senator, before you came, we were discussing you.
Really?
Of course. We were debating whether you could pass for the membership in our organization.
I am flabbergasted.
Seeing now that you make everybody happy, I think I shall retract my objections.
My golly, what does that make me?
Ladies, are you ready for the motion? Shall we adopt him?
By all means.
Yes, yes.
Ladies, I assure you that I am totally dumbfounded. Now, I have to make sure that I am still wearing my trousers.
Trousers or no trousers, Senator, you simply cannot refuse us.
How can he? I have already hooked him, haven't I, Senator?
I only wish, Mrs. Collins, that you were not a married woman.
Isn't he charming? Senator, I do not doubt that you must be a sensation to the Filipino ladies during the election.
Senator, Where is the assemblyman?
I'm sorry to say that he is still taking it easy. It is the heat in Washington that ties him down.
Fighting! Is he sick?
Not really. He will feel better after taking it easy, I assure you.
Oh!
Well, Senator, we want to hear from you.
How about a bottle of cola to cool him?
Of course! What am I doing here? Standing like an idiot? We have nothing but the best for you, Senator. Simang! Bring us the champagne!
Make it cool and fresh, will you, Simang?
Champagne is better when it is a little bit hot, warm, Senator.
Is that so? Make it as hot as you can then.
Make it cool and fresh so that the senator will feel comfortable.
Yes po, Senator.
Senator, I hope you're having a good time here in Washington.
Really, I can't complain. This city, especially the ladies, is very hospitable.
How do you like America?
Wonderful. In fact, I was telling the people at the State Department that they have a marvelous country.
Look, everybody! Come and get your champagne! Senator, please, have one or as you like.
Ah, Simang, my dear girl, I hope it is not frozen.
It will neither be frozen, Senator. In fact, it is a little bit hot.
Here, you go to the kitchen and let me serve the others. But ma'am, you told me also to serve the visitors. How's that?
Ladies, let's drink to a very important person.
Let's do it!
To the underprivileged of our country.
Sabihin mo na sa amin.
To si Ma'am.
Opo, Senator, nakakahiya naman.
You are the indispensable favorite of our country.
Here, you go to the kitchen and stay there. Thank you, Senator. Thank you.
Come on, Senator, ladies, let's all drink to the good health of the Senator, and may you have productive time here with us.
Hep, hep, hooray! Hep, hep, hooray!
Hep, hep, hooray! Hep, hep, hooray!
Hep, hep, hooray! Hep, hep, hooray!
Thanks, all of you. Here's to your happiness and prosperity.
Senator, let me be the unofficial spokesman for the ladies. From the ladies of the Filipino circle here in the city.
Naku, Suslet, napakalandi mo naman nun.
As for me, we will have profited more by hearing the Toscanini concert.
Come on, Senator. Let us hear from you and get out from the clutches of Mrs. Collins. Besides, her American husband might get jealous.
Of course, Senators, speech! Speech! Yes, please, Senator!
My sisters, my dear and lovely Filipino sisters, and our American friend, what can I say to you? My heart is so full of gratitude for your hospitality that here I am, tongue-tied and dumbfounded. express my inadequate things, not in words, but in action. But let me say this to you from the bottom of my heart, that wherever I am, I shall forever be thinking of your personal interests and those of your husbands. Please believe me. You have heard so many complaints about your government officials, especially those direct against legislators like myself. Well, the only defense I can offer you is this. Do I look like a villain? So if you hear any of these uncalled for and unfair accusations against me, I know that you will give them answers you have given me so graciously this afternoon.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, the senator is breaking my heart. Mahal na mahal. Mabuhay ka, Senator!
Mabuhay!
Ladies! Atos! Senator Maripal for President! Hooray!
Ladies, I thank you. Now, I have a splendid idea. How about retiring to the Shoreham Hotel with me? And we can really do things.
Mr. Senator, that's really a splendid proposition. Ladies, what are we waiting for?
Let be the nominating committee before the others get ahead of us. Come on, Senator. Let's not waste any more time. Ladies, tayo na.
Siyempre, ang chika, he is exactly like Pied Piper of Hamelin.
Senator, I hope you do not lure us to our doom.
If we have women like you in the Philippines, I certainly do not need to fear our country.
You wait till the senator goes into action. Then, you will forget all of your previous commitments.
Senator Maripal for President!
Have you ever seen such a juvenile show of adulation? How can my mother go with such people?
Huh? And we often say the future of the Philippines is rosy?
You bet it's rosy. With women like that. Come on, let's go to the Scanini concert.
Letty, what can we do about this awful situation?
Nothing. Come on. And don't you be stupid either.
My goodness! Where did they all go?
To the shore.
How shameful! Paano naman correct?
Itapon mo na.
Itapon ka na?
My God! Me? I work very hard to prepare something, but then they all go out for some relaxation? How's that, my God?
A lesson to you.
Doggy, tarantado silang lahat. I'll tell them. I'll make a report of Filipino people. For sure. I'll